Dan Kolko here with James Wood as he completes his first week as a Major League Baseball player. How's that sound?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone's been asking you about you, and I'll have some questions for you, but I want to ask you about your family. I know you're really close with your family. They've been here pretty much the entire week. Your dad, Kenny, your mom, Paula, your sisters were here for your debut. Tell me what life was like growing up in the Wood household.
I don't know. I feel like it was a lot of sports. I mean, we all played at least one sport. A couple of us we played multiple, but yeah. I mean, even now, like I don't really play much basketball anymore, but we still talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I mean, it's just a lot of fun. It's keep it light. So.
Was it a competitive household? Like with your sisters, they played basketball. You played a little bit growing up until
Yeah.
baseball took main priority for you. What were the dynamics like amongst the siblings and with your dad having played a high level of basketball himself?
I mean, it would get a little competitive, but probably not as much as you would think. Really, only if we were like playing against each other or something. So.
What has it meant for you to have them here with you this week? Being a local guy, you and I talked about it after you came over to the Nationals in the trade, how your family was going to get to watch you at affiliates and follow your progression, and now they've been here in a Major League ballpark getting to watch you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's nice. You don't really get to see it very often at all. I mean, they get to go home after each game, and it's only a 40-minute drive to the stadium. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's really special. I mean, it's great with how much they've helped me, like, throughout the whole process getting here and all that. Just for them to be here with me, enjoying all of it up here, too, is great.
Have you relied on your dad, especially given that he knows the highs and lows of athletics, to deal with this entire process?
Yeah, I think they kind of taught a lot of it to me just growing up. I mean, I feel like my dad, he's kind of similar to how I am with just how we go about our business. So, I mean, I've always kind of, whether I realize it or not, sort of just followed after what he's done.
So Matt LeCroy breaks the news to you at AAA Rochester that you're getting called up to the big leagues. We saw the video of that moment. And I'm assuming your first phone call was to your family. What was that phone call like?
Yeah. It was kind of just like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm coming home, so I'll see y'all tomorrow.
It was that low key?
No, I mean, that was kind of how it started, but yeah, obviously, like, they were just super excited and all that, so I'm excited just to see me and for everything to come.
Was it emotional? Was it just excited? What were the dynamics?
It was everything. I mean, it was like a group FaceTime. Some of us were home. I mean, some people were all over, so it was cool. It was a lot of emotions for sure.
So you had a little bit of time after you get the word that you're getting called up until when you actually make your debut here on Monday. You show up to the ballpark, you try and I'd imagine keep the same type of routine that you would in the minor leagues. What are the memories that, almost a week from that debut now stick with you? What's still sharp in your mind from that day?
Yeah, just walking in the clubhouse for the first time. I mean, just seeing all the guys. I mean, greeting all them there, and then running out to the field for the first time, and kind of just like the atmosphere, the crowd, like just feeling all that. I mean, it still feels like it was just like yesterday. So
you've had, attention on you over the last couple of years. That's the way it's like now for top prospects. To have 26,000 people that have their attention on you, that's got to be a little different. Did it feel odd?
I mean, I couldn't really see a lot of it, but like during certain parts of the game, you could definitely feel it. But I mean, it was just a lot of fun. I mean, I never played in front of that many people, so I mean, yeah, I mean, it just made it all the more fun.
You get your first at-bat in the second inning, I believe.
Think
you
so.
work a long at-bat, as you have so many times already up here as a big leaguer. What was your heart rate like throughout that lengthy at-bat, your first one as a major leaguer?
I mean, it felt the same. I think, like, it was kind of up there, like, when I was on deck. I think sort of the anticipation kind of got it up there. But I think once I kind of got in the box, it sort of just felt like baseball. So I think I was able to calm down a little bit.
What do you remember about the pitch, the swing that delivered your first major league hit?
Just an inside fastball. It was a sinker guy, so I was trying to stay inside of it and just pushed it the opposite way. So it felt pretty good.
You've done such a good job this first week of staying within what has gotten you here. You've got a really good feel for the strike zone. You know who you are as a player. Your parents have talked about that, that you have a really good understanding of who you are and what makes you good. How have you managed to do that? How have you stayed within that so consistently when it can be tough for guys, especially young in their career, to try and make something happen, to try and go outside of what they normally do to generate something?
Yeah, I think my teammates, my coaches, they've been great. I mean, they've just been very encouraging, and when I got guys that I trust behind me, I mean, it makes it a lot easier to not try and feel like I got to do it all myself. You know, like if I'm just able to get on base and just pass it to the next guy, then I feel great about that. So
The first homer came a few days after the first hit, and that was to the opposite fields, a ball that you just kind of stayed on. I've heard guys talk about they hit a big homer at the major league level and they black out as they're going around the bases. Did you black out, or do you remember that trip?
I remember it all. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
What do you remember?
Not much. Just kind of just rounding the bases, shaking Ricky's hand, coming around third, and then meeting all the guys back at home plate. So it was a fun trip. So.
And Vargy leaping to put the Uncle Slam hat on your head?
Yeah. The hat barely fitting on.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. We got to get a bigger one for James. So, you know, you got a long way to go. You're 21. You're not even a full week as a major leaguer. What about this first week has stood out as maybe something you didn't expect, or something that has gone above your expectations, or something that has wowed you a little bit?
Yeah, I just think the competitiveness of each game. I mean, like I feel like each game it could come down to one play or two plays. So just the attention to detail. I mean, here, obviously, in all games, it's you gotta be very focused on each play. But I think here especially, just knowing how one play can impact the whole game and just how close all these games are is definitely a difference.
And now you get ready for your first big league road trip. Charter flights, nice hotels, probably a little bit nicer than you stayed in single A, double A. You looking forward to that too?
Yeah, and then more comfort suites. So.
No offense to the
that'll be
comfort
nice.
suites, but yeah, this will be a little better.
Yeah, no, it's not personal.
Yeah. Last one for you. I know you and Trey Lipscomb have developed a really nice friendship. Two local guys who. He was telling me you didn't know each other when you were coming through high school because you transferred down to IMG. He's a couple years older than you, and he was at University of Tennessee. But you got to link up pretty much every level of the minors, and now you're together, two DC area kids playing on a big league field together.
Yeah.
How do you explain that? Like, what's that like?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's always cool, like coming up with a lot of guys. But it's obviously a lot different. Like when we're both local, I feel like you don't really see it a whole lot, and kind of just being there throughout each other's journeys. Yeah, it's pretty special, and especially once you come up here and it's a lot of guys that you played with and you're comfortable with, it makes the transition a lot easier too.
James Wood, a week into his long tenure as a big leaguer, and he's having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun watching him. James, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.